Hello students, it's Nazia Begum here, your physics lecturer, welcoming you all in today's lecture. So today in our live class, we have studied about conservation of energy, and for that I have explained you that how in a freely falling ball the energy is conserved. Okay, so we have seen that at each and every point when the ball is falling down, so at each and every point the total mechanical energy was mgh. Okay, so total mechanical energy was conserved. After that, let's move to the next topic, power. So what is power? Power is defined as the rate of doing work. Okay, so whenever we are doing work, we take some time. So how much time we are taking to complete a work, that will decide our power. Okay, if we take less time, that means our power is more. If we take more time, that means the power is less. Okay, you can see the definition of power is given here. Power is defined as the rate of doing work, and whenever this term rate is there, that means we have to compare something with respect to the time interval. Okay, so here power is the uh, rate of doing work. So that means we are comparing the work with time interval, that in how much time how much work is done here. Okay, and it is measured at any instant as the product of force and velocity. So power equals to product of force and velocity. So we all know that work W is equals to force into displacement. Work equals to F into S, and from this value of formula of power we have P equals to W upon T. Okay, in place of W, when we put F into S, so we will get this formula. Okay, this formula we will get P equals to Fs upon T. Then here you can say P equals to S upon T is written, and S upon T, S is the displacement, and displacement upon time, S upon T, displacement upon time is equals to V. Okay, so finally we can have the formula of power as force into velocity. So that's why it is written that it is measured at any instant as the product of force and velocity. So we are basically having two formulas of power. First is W upon T, work upon time, and second is force into velocity, F into V. Okay, then here two bikes are there. Okay, they both have to travel the same distance. They both have to carry, suppose they both have to carry the bag of cement to uphill. Okay, so they both are doing the same work. Okay, the uh, the bag of cement is having same weight. Okay, they will travel the same distance, that means they will do same amount of work, but the time they will take to do that work will be different for the different vehicle. That means if time is different, so according to the formula of power P equals to W upon T, one vehicle which will cover the distance or which will perform the work in less time will be having the more power, and the another vehicle which will perform the same work, which will do the same work in more time, will have less power. Okay, so this is all about power. So power is basically related to time interval. Whenever we are doing any work, so in how much time we are completing the work, that will decide the power. Okay, then let's see the unit of power. The unit of power, SI unit of power is joule per second. Okay, and it is called watt. So 1 watt equals to 1 joule per second. And if we see the kilowatt, so 1 kilowatt equals to 1000 watt, or 10 to the power 3 watt, or 10 to the power 3 joule per second. Okay, then power of any engine, okay, any motor or engine, their power is generally given in terms of horsepower. So what is horsepower? Okay, horsepower is simply denoted by HP, and 1 HP, 1 horsepower is equals to 746 watt. Okay, so this is the relation between horsepower and watt. Now let's move to solve some numerical problems related to power. First we will solve the numerical problem related to energy and means related to work, energy and power, all type of topics. So in front of you there is first numerical. A ball of mass 1.5 kg is moving with a speed of 20 meter per second. Find its kinetic energy. So we all know what is the formula of kinetic energy. It is half mv square. Mass of the body is given as 1.5 kilogram and the speed is given as 20 meter per second. Okay, mass as well as speed, they both are given in SI unit, so we don't have to work on unit. Okay, they are already in SI unit. So we directly put the value of mass and velocity in the formula of kinetic energy, and from there by solving that equation we will get kinetic energy as 300 joule. So how to solve this equation? See, we are having 1 upon 2 into 1.5 into 20 square. So 20 square means 400. So in place of this 20 square we will write 400. Then this 2 will cancel this 400 in 200. When we divide 400 by 2 we will have 200. So basically we will have 1.5 into 200. So when we multiply 1.5 with 200 we will get this amount. Okay, 300. So this is the amount of kinetic energy which that ball will possess. Now let's have the second numerical. An athlete weighing 50 kg has 100 joule of kinetic energy. Calculate his speed. So mass of the athlete is given as 50 kg and kinetic energy is given as 100 joule, and we have to calculate the velocity. So again we will use the same formula for kinetic energy. Ke equals to half mv square. Let's put the value of kinetic energy as 100 and the mass as 50. Okay, and we have to find out the value of v square. So here what we will do, here in this line with 2 we will cancel 50, so we get 25. So on one side we will get 100, on the other side we will have 25 v square. So we can write it like this, or v square equals to 100 upon 25. When we divide 100 by 25 we get 4. So here we are getting v square equals to 4. If we want to remove square from v, so on the right hand side there will be one, we have to find out the square root. So square root of 4, when we find out we get 2 meter per second. So this is the velocity. Okay, then next is a hammer of mass 5 kg falls freely from a height of 3 meter. Calculate the velocity and the kinetic energy of the hammer just before it touches the ground. Okay, so mass of the hammer is 5 kilogram. Initial velocity is 0 because initially the hammer was at a particular height and from there it is simply falling. So initially we are not giving any velocity. So u equals to 0 and s equals to 3. Now using the downward direction as positive direction, we will have g equals to 9.8 meter per second. Okay, so from the third equation of motion, v square equals to u square plus 2gs, if we put the value there and when we solve it by using simple mathematical equations, we will have v equals to under root 58.8, or approximately we can write its value as 7.67. So this is the value of v here. Now this is your homework, that here you know the value of v as well as you know the value of m. So now this is your homework to find out the kinetic energy of the hammer before it touches the ground. So kinetic energy you all have to find out by putting v equals to 7.67 and m equals to 5 in the formula half m v square. In this formula you have to put the value of m and v and find out kinetic energy. So this is it for today's lecture. See you in next lecture. Till then, goodbye, take care, do some productive work, and the most important thing, be healthy, be safe.